This is Jason at transmissiontuner.com. It's time to introduce my new aftermarket control system. I started out with some prototypes running Allisons and sled pulling trucks, but today I'm going to show you how it's currently working in the 68 RFE. I've been working with this trans since 2014. And I'm excited to show you some progress I've made with this new system. While the old system I used to offer ran this thing okay, the new system's going to be a huge improvement in dependability and shifting lock to lock. I'm really serious about offering a system that has cutting edge features and solid dependability, and I'm going to work really hard to make it a reality. I've got nearly 1,000 miles on the truck with the new control system. If you check my older video, you'll see about 10,000 miles difference. Here's what the controllers look like now. Quick and dirty development wiring. I may build a different enclosure that would be thinner. Wouldn't be any different really from width and length, but I can definitely go a little thinner. But these, since they're pre-made, are the most economical at this time, and there's also a little extra room in there if I need to put anything else in the box. But that gives you an idea what they look like. And I do have a different end plate too, with an angle and some vibration isolation on there. My truck is set up to plug and play a complete harness right up here on the top side of the floor, which is really handy for testing stuff out. And like I said, the wiring is a real mess right now with all the redevelopment I've been doing. It's got 12 digital outputs, and I've got them fused, so if you happen to have a solenoid go bad or something like that, it's not going to take the controller out, it's just going to blow the fuse. Here's my really fancy laptop holder. It's really helpful though to keep the laptop from running all over the cab when I'm driving this thing all the time, doing all the testing I've been doing. This is the data logger application. There's quite a few labels on there that can be pretty helpful to see if there's any kind of issue that you want to be aware of. It'll only run on a Windows based computer. Windows tablets would work pretty slick with this, but you need the full-size USB port on it would be best with a separate charging cord. There's it with the key on. Whenever it's open, it's recording data for me and records it to a comma separated spreadsheet. I'm going to show you just a little bit of normal driving here today, and then I'm also going to record a few limp mode functions, show you how those work. Sometimes I get a little wig in the gauges, and if you close out the application and restart it, they're better. I've got some adaptive learning built into the upshifts. I'll be working on the downshifts as well. They're going to be trickier, but should be able to get that working over some time. And you might have seen that adapt supplied flag pop up there. That's just showing that it made an adjustment. Green number is the requested gear. Orange number is current gear. I still got a good bit of work to do on my temp trims. There's a whole lot of temp trims in the programming for each gear change, torque converter lockup, all that, which is really going to be helpful once I get it dialed in, and it should transfer over to everybody else pretty well, as long as you're running the correct fluid in your transmission. And I still need to work some on my pressure control too. It kind of takes off and goes high sometimes for the most part. Sometimes it's a little low, but not too terrible bad. So I did uncover a hardware issue recently. This controller I'm running right now is still working pretty good, but the other one I was showing you in the back seat has a bigger problem. It shuts itself down randomly, and I'm going to be figuring that out. But the good thing about it is it helped me to see some other limp functions I needed to program in for that. A controller can shut down for a variety of reasons, and dirty battery posts or loose battery cables is one example. And so even if the hardware was working right, you know, that's still a possibility, and I'm glad that I had that problem to help me figure out that I needed to build a limp function for it. So I'll be demoing that as well with that other controller, because it's definitely a little more predictable when it will happen. This one here, I don't know if it'll ever even do the problem here while I'm doing a video. But as soon as the stoplight turns green, I'll demo a sensor failure. So say you're running along at 55 miles an hour and all of a sudden your speed sensor goes bad. I'm gonna just pull mine under here, under my fancy chair. There it goes. And it went into limp mode. When it goes into limp mode 2, the logger screen freezes, so it's actually in 4th gear right now, 4th gear limp. But that gives you an idea how that works. Had to get my desktop recorder recording again. So now I'll demo a little bit of lock-to-lock mode. This is a feature I'm really kind of excited about. It'll still shift unlock to unlock at really light throttle. Or, if you wanted it to, you could always shift lock to lock. The TCC slip flag is on in an error there. It's just barely catching a little tiny bit of slip. I'll get that fixed. I have the other controller in there now, and I'll show you what happens when it shuts down. come back on here in a few seconds. Kind of unpredictable when exactly, but trying to come back on. It came back on and then hit limp mode 2 is what happened. Like it's supposed to, I just didn't catch it. Can't hardly see my screen in the daytime. I might lighten up the screen. Obviously, can do all sorts of different colors for the data logging screen. It's Visual Basic is what I use to build it. So if anyone was inclined, they could build their own screen. So, in order to get it reset, of course, park, shut off the truck, and then restart. I'll be updating another video when I get the hardware issue fixed.